Hi, my name is Peter Klinkenberg, and I work at Cornerstone Solutions Group, a landscape company based out of Tampa, Florida. I'm here at the Chapman residence, partnered with RISE, the Responsible Industries for a Sound Environment, and Mr. Chapman has won a landscape makeover. Any good landscape starts with the foundation, and the foundation is going to be your trees. So you can see here we've selected queen palms and crepe myrtles, popular hardy Florida trees. The reason we chose these trees is because the maintenance of them is fairly simple. Queen palms are disease resistant, easy to maintain, need minor trimming throughout the year, and are fairly cold hardy. The other trees we've selected, crepe myrtles, we picked these because they have outstanding color, a lot of show. Again, they're fairly easy to maintain. They need to be fed 4 times a year with a granular slow-release fertilizer. And beyond that, they just need a once-a-year pruning up at the nodes of the tree. It's very simply done, very easy, and then when the springtime, when they're trimmed, you'll get a beautiful, beautiful bloom in the summer if you can zoom in on one of those really gorgeous blooms. Also a disease-resistant, cold-hardy. It's a great tree for Florida's harsh environment. Also drought-tolerant as well as the queen palms. These are some of the woody ornamental plants that we're going to put into this landscape. Whenever we say woody ornamental plant in Florida, we mean your standard shrubs and different kinds of accent plants that we typically plant down here. Whenever we plant these plants, we always start with a plant health care tablet. These go into the hole with each of the ornamental plants that we plant and provides the initial feed and a root stimulator to help the plant establish quickly. This is our foundational shrub. This is called Loropetalum. We selected it because it has some nice, interesting color, some red tips on the leaves. It flowers several times a year with very bright, vibrant pink flowers, very attractive. And also because it has a thick, dense covering that will be a nice foundation for the bottom of the house. Help break up the lines where the soil meets up the house. We're going to plant these ornamental grasses called Fakahatchee around the base of this existing oak tree. That'll help add a little bit of a buffer to the trunk because you have a pretty high trunk. It's been limbed up pretty high. Gives a little texture to the bottom of the tree. Right here we have lantana. It's a very popular, fast-growing, flowering ground cover in Florida. It's a native. Butterflies like them. They're very, very hardy. They grow with minimal care. They need trimming back in the springtime and just a minor fertilization 4 times per year. They're popular though because they offer so much color and a lot of snap from the curb. With minimal maintenance, not nearly as much rotation of plants and heavy maintenance as an annual would require. These do that with a lot less pain for the homeowner. These are another popular and shade-tolerant ground cover. This is Liriope. It comes in a few different forms. This is Super Green Giant. It's popular, hardy, doesn't require very much care at all. A 4 times per year feeding is more than enough for it. Looks really nice. So again, we have foundational shrubs, lower growing ground covers, and a buffer plant. And that's the foundation of a solid landscape. Here in Mr. Chapman's backyard, we had to pull out the existing lawn that he had. It had been overtaken by weeds, and he had a lot of dead turf in there that just weren't able to revive. But what we're going to put back is essentially the same grass that got overrun by weeds, and that's St. Augustine Floritam variety. It's the most popular yard grass in Florida. You can see in the surrounding neighborhoods with the finished product that it's a very beautiful, luxurious, deep green grass. It does require a good amount of care. It needs frequent watering, and it needs at least 6 fertilizing applications per year, as well as fairly significant pest treatment. St. Augustine grass is a favorite food of chinch bugs and grubworms, so there is some significant maintenance that has to be performed in order to keep it looking its best. It's not terribly hard to do. You can purchase those products at your local Home Depot or garden supply store, but it is something that has to be done, or when those bugs attack the grass, they'll make weak spots, it'll die, and that will give weeds a chance to take over. Whenever you're working in a lawn and trying to keep it looking good, it's all about competition. So you have to give your desired grass, the best chance at outcompeting the weeds, which also grow very quickly. And you do that with some selective herbicides, some pesticides, and with a good, well-fed lawn. The tighter and thicker the grass is, the less chance that you're going to have a pest problem, and the better your yard will look. As you can see, we're at the final step of our re-landscape process, and that is laying down the sod here. We have a beautiful St. Augustine sod. It's a very popular grass in Florida. The reason we had to replace the lawn here is that some of the weeds and some of the pests had actually taken over so much of the lawn that we couldn't treat them anymore, and costly replacement was our only option. So now that we have nice new sod, we want the resident to be able to take care of it, to have this long-term beauty. It's fairly simple to do, but it does take a little bit of work. He'll need to mow it regularly. He'll need to water it regularly. He has a nice irrigation system. That's a prerequisite to having this kind of grass. And then he'll have to take care of it with regular fertilization and pest control. The fertilization should probably happen 4 times a year, and the pest control will probably happen 6 times a year and as needed. And then his mowing has to be scheduled in such a way that he doesn't let too much thatch build up, but a little bit's a good thing. You can buy most of these products at any Home Depot or garden supply store. They have a wide variety of good stuff. It's really important when you're applying it, though, that you follow the directions on the back of the label to a T as much as possible. You want to keep it away from ponds. We have a pond in the backyard here. You want to stay at least 10 feet away with your fertilization application, and you want to avoid letting any of the pellets fall into the driveways or streets or gutters. And if any do, you need to clean them up right away. And then try to avoid putting down your fertilizer within 24 hours of a heavy rain or irrigation cycle. And other than that, it provides a gorgeous environment for your family, for your children, and they'll have a terrific view from their backyard across this green landscape and into a nice pond.
All I can say is I am just truly impressed. This is great. I never would have thought that it was going to look like this, particularly with the trees, because I hadn't envisioned trees back here at all. And I think what really sets it off is the was it crepe myrtle?
Crepe myrtle, that's
yes.
right.
That's it. That gives it that spunk. So I just want to say thank you to Rise and you, Peter, for saving my yard.
It is our pleasure. You're very welcome.
Thank you, sir.